You are watching. Pause. We pause for a second or two. How do we keep life coherent when so much is changing? This is episode 266. Sleep goal. Predictability. This month, on Pause, we are talking about goals. We are talking about realistic and achievable goals we can set through pausing. And today we are talking about this goal. Predictability. Predictability is our goal for our sleep situation. It's our sleep goal. So our sleep situation is when we fall asleep. It's when we sleep and dream. And it's when we wake up. These three. Falling asleep, sleeping and dreaming, and waking up. That's our sleep situation. And predictability is our goal for our sleep situation. If you want to just hear more about our sleep situation in itself, you can go back 1 month here on Pause, and there is an episode for our sleep situation. Here is the symbol or image for predictability. It is the sun, either rising or setting. The sun rising and setting is a great symbol for predictability. The sun always rises for a new day, and the sun always sets for a new night. How is this sun, how is this predictable sun related to our sleep, you might ask? So, basically, the sun rising and setting is perhaps the most clear example of predictability in life. And our lives are not as predictable as the sun. our lives are highly unpredictable right now. There is so much uncertainty in the air. Every day we read in the news that another world war might break out. And the tension on all sides is building up more and more. And the tension is really tense right now. So our lives are extremely unpredictable right now. So our lives are highly unpredictable right now, but the sun is no less predictable because of it. The sun still always rises for a new day and sets for a new night. And here comes the point why this is related to our sleep. Sleep, when we lie down to hopefully fall asleep and sleep during the night and then wake up the next morning. Sleep is on an intuitive level how we as humans reconcile the predictability of the sun with the unpredictability of our own lives. That is what sleep is. Sleep is when the predictable truths in life meet with the unpredictable truths in life. This is sleep. So every night when we sleep, inside of us, we reconcile this meeting between predictability and unpredictability. So in that sense, predictability is not only our goal, it's sort of the logic behind how our sleep works and why we sleep in the first place. That's predictability. We pause and work towards a realistic sense of control. Predictability is how we feel safe enough. In these times, when World War supposedly is right around the corner, most of us have different kinds of difficulty sleeping. Maybe we do not fall asleep, but lie awake for many hours. Perhaps we do fall asleep, but sleep in a worried way feel worried in our sleep. Perhaps we have a lot of nightmares. Perhaps when we wake up in the morning, we feel terrible. We feel anxious. We feel depressed. Actually, it would be strange if we did not feel somewhat depressed right now. It would be strange. The forces pushing us down right now are so strong that if we would feel cheerful right now, it would be a bit in bad taste. Being depressed is not always a bad thing. It can be a way of showing both ourselves and others that we are aware of the serious nature of our current situation. Being depressed can, to a degree, be a trustworthy trait. Not being too uppity. We pause and work towards a realistic sense of control. So, in these changing times when so much is unpredictable, it is not realistic to demand full control out of life. It's simply not realistic. So a lot about our sleep goal predictability is to adjust our expectations out of life, and often, unfortunately, to lower our expectations out of life. At least right now. When so much is going on, when there's so much turbulence going on, we just must lower our expectations. That's a difficult thing to do, and that's why we pause and talk about it. It's close to impossible to do alone, but if we do it with someone we care about, someone we like, then it's a bit easier. But a realistic sense of control, that is possible. A realistic sense of predictability, if you will, that is possible, and it's meaningful to work towards. Predictability is how we feel safe enough. Again, it's quite similar here. It's not realistic right now in these times to demand out of life that we should feel 100% safe. It's not realistic. When there is so much tension and violence in the air, what we can work towards is to feel safe enough. Safe enough for what, you might ask? Safe enough to have a fighting chance to achieve some goals or some wishes we have, that are good enough, safe enough to have an okay life right now. Perhaps again it would be in quite bad taste to ask out of life to have a great life right now. In some senses, yes, maybe. Some aspects of it perhaps, but all in all, perhaps now what we can ask out of life is to feel safe enough to achieve something that is okay. To achieve something that is okay, at least. Not getting everything we want, but getting at least what we need. I heard someone say at some time that a good leader is someone who gives no one everything they want, but gives everyone what they need. Something along those lines, not exactly that, but something in that sort of vicinity. Predictability, the sun. Also, in sleep, another completely predictable aspect of life is the gravitational pull of the earth. So, what do we do when we sleep? We lie down in our bed or on the ground on a mattress. So we lie down and just feel this completely predictable gravitational pull downwards. And we feel heavy, predictably heavy. It's a great feeling. We can completely count on our weight down. Our weight down into the earth, and you can see now that the sun is setting here, which I knew it would do. I planned for it. I knew that the sun would set now in the end of the episode to just further illustrate the point that life gets a little bit easier when we are in touch with what is truly predictable. When we pause and remind ourselves that the sun and the earth gravitational pull are two examples of things that are completely predictable. No, our society is not predictable right now. There is strife, there is conflict. There is tension, but there are still things that are predictable. That do not go away. That will still be around, and that will still be here all throughout this turbulent time. We do not always have to become fully predictable ourselves, but we can reconnect again and again with the elements that are predictable. There's a difference there. That's it for today. Thank you.